Assalamu alaikum. This is Aksa Tariq from Web Studio TV, and I'd like to welcome my guest today, Mr. Ali Fahd, the founder of Park Launch. I always say this to a lot of people that Pakistanis have this great sense of giving back to community. I don't know, and there are many reasons of why we take a lot of challenges upon us, which are not, we're not obligated to do so. But I feel like Pakistanis have this really strong sense of doing it, putting themselves in difficult situations, but also really giving back to community. And I feel like we have this really strong sense there. And this is exactly something that I've seen with Ali and what he's built with Park Launch. It's a portal. It's a product that he's built, I think, from the ground up. Just to help Pakistani entrepreneurs really get noticed, get seen, and give them that global exposure that he's, mashallah, had through his career. With this, of course, Ali, I'd like to quickly, have you introduce yourself and talk to us about your journey with Park Launch.
Yeah, so thanks for inviting me. My name is Ali Fahd. I was born in Lahore. My father was in military, so we moved around quite a bit. Spent a lot of years in Rawalpindi. Went to GIK for engineering. Came to US pre-September 11. So I've been in the US now for 20 years. Did my graduate school and then have been working in different parts of the country. Moved to England for a couple of years. Now I'm in the Bay Area working for Amazon as a strategic sourcing manager. So that's my day job.
So tell us about Park Launch and how you came up with that, and what's that been like for you?
Yeah. So in the last 20 years that I've been in the US, I've seen brand Pakistan take a lot of beating over the years, and I think there were not that many role models who stood up and raised their hand and represented Pakistan. And every place that I went to, I always heard people complain about how things were bad and how things could be a lot better. So last year in April, in one of the Zoom meetings with my friends from JIK, 7 of us, we said, why don't we create, let's create a WhatsApp group and see how we can invest in Pakistan together and we can transfer knowledge. So a lot of our friends are working at, some of the biggest companies on the planet. So we started with 7 friends. Our mission was to invest in Pakistan, to transfer knowledge into Pakistan, and also help Pakistanis living here to build a sense of community. So that was our mission.
And I think what started as sort of like a WhatsApp group or just like an informal community of people who had that sense of giving back to community. I think you've made this into a true platform connecting, Pakistani talent across the globe. And I've seen some really great numbers. If you could elaborate on, the kind of verticals that you've managed to sort of bring on board, the kind of people you have, and then we'll, move on to what you're doing with the conference that's coming up.
So, we started on 29th April 2020 was our first WhatsApp group. Now we have 15 WhatsApp groups focused on different areas. So we have one focused on investors, we have one on startups, we have on real estate, on stocks, North America, PSX, social innovation, education, agriculture, so public policy. So we have multiple different groups. In our community, you can join in various ways. You can join either through our website or through our LinkedIn, Facebook. But for you to be admitted to our WhatsApp group, you have to be nominated by an existing member. And the idea for doing it was because we wanted to keep the quality and the bar very high, using the concept that I saw at Amazon, which was a bar raiser concept, where during the interview, you have one person, and in the interview, he might be completely has nothing to do with your day job. But what he's looking at is, if you join Amazon, are you gonna bring the whole culture down? Are you gonna just keep it status quo, or are you gonna raise the bar? And they always wanted people to raise the bar so that they can continue to grow and become better. So, so we use a similar thing on our WhatsApp groups. We have multiple unicorn founders on our group. We have all the local Pakistani VCs. We have Pakistani VCs working for some of the largest VC firms, like Saudi Aramco has a Pakistani guy. Amazon Alexa Fund is a $250 million fund. Is 50% of it are Pakistanis. Ridge Ventures, Sequoia had a Pakistani guy. Lux, So some of the biggest VC firms now have Pakistanis. So we have been able to just pull them together on a single platform where they can guide some of the startups, they can invest in them. We still have 70% of our members on the WhatsApp group are outside Pakistan. We have 30% in Pakistan. And the idea was you need more people who can give, because we have LinkedIn and we have Facebook and our website where people would come and make requests about how we can help them. So we have a funnel of startups, we have funnel of those things where we can help them, and then we have people in the US who can guide them.
So under the Park Launch umbrella, I understand that you guys are hosting the first ever a virtual conference, which is Pakistani Startups, the next big thing. I think there's no doubt, given the kind of news we've been seeing in the last few months, especially 2020 and 2021 has been very rewarding and very validating, I feel like, for the Pakistani ecosystem, because we've actually, for the first time, had international coverage for the right kind of stuff that we've been doing. What is Pakistani Startups, the next big thing, Park Launch Conference about? Tell us more about it.
So our concept for Pakistani Startup, the next big thing is that Pakistan is at a point where we want to showcase Pakistan is ready for investment. We want to show to the world that we are ready. Don't sleep on us. So we are not begging for money. The idea is to showcase the talent we have and the great startups we have, and I truly believe in it and I live it. So we want to show a very confident Pakistan to the rest of the world, and we want to invite everyone to join and listen in. We want to keep it short and sweet, but we want to hit it hard. So our goal is to keep it under 2 hours long. We have 14 global VCs speaking. We have 3 unicorn Pakistani founders, one almost in the making. He'll be pretty soon a unicorn. We have 6 of the highest funded startups also part of the panel. And we're expecting President of Pakistan to be joining us as well. So it will be a big show. And I tell everyone to bring their coffee mug to join us for 2 hours.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of hype, and the right kind of hype that Park Launch has created with this conference. It's something that's needed, and the fact that you guys are bringing actually a lot of global investors and showing them what Pakistan has to offer in terms of investments, in terms of startups, and the work that we're doing. I think we wish you the very best of luck. Very quickly, Ali, I'd really like to ask you, personally, how has this sort of changed? And I know that you said that you moved to the US about 20 years ago. I think doing something for your country is very, very important to you as a person as well. How has this experience with Park Launch really shaped you as an individual and changed, the way you've been thinking or giving back to your community?
One thing I've learned is right now with this conference and lot of what we have achieved, it's just myself and my partner. Amir Mehdi from Singapore has been helping quite a bit. We couldn't be doing this conference without him. And we hired our first full-time, person to help us out just recently. So with 1.5, 2 people, we have been able to achieve the conference where we already have 10,000 people have registered for the conference with almost 9 more days to go. So we do expect to double it, because now I think would be the time for the push. We are expecting a lot of foreign investors to join in. What it has shown me is, handful of people who are really focused and passionate can make a lot of impact. So what we are doing is the government, and if there was a wider group, we could take it to a different planet altogether. So that's what I've learned.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree with you. Ali, you've also told me in various conversations that we've had that, Park Launch is, it has a reputation for being very selective in terms of when you come to startups. What is it that you are bringing to Pakistani startups specifically? And what is it that you feel like is that missing element, perhaps, that Park Launch, of course, in the near future wishes to sort of, cover that gap?
I think I truly believe capital is not an issue, because I see around me and around us, there are a lot of, we have enabled over 60 individual investments into startups in just the last 4 months. Park Launch has, and close to $7 million. So I've seen it. If you bring good opportunities, it's not just the the patriotic view. It just, there are good deals out there. I think what we bring to the startup is, one, any startup that comes and presents, we work with them very closely to make sure they're ready for the pitch. We have a group of 7 people who will work with them, a committee, to make sure their business case is read out and all those things. Having served on the boards and invested in Pakistan, I feel a lot of the founders of the great startup, they're coming from abroad who have been trained outside. I feel like our middle management or the lower management is not yet ready for those. So Park Launch is offering a lot of courses for those, very subsidized courses we offer them to build, both the commercial and the technical know-how. And we plan to do a lot more of that, and we'll be announcing things around it, at the conference.
All right. Thank you, Ali. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I just say, like, thank you so much for inviting me, and join us for the conference. I'm sure you'll be proud to see the end product we put out there. And it's about Pakistan. We're not trying to make money out of this one. This is representing Pakistan really well. So that's our mission. So
Thank
thanks
you.
for listening in.
Can we have a Pakistan Zindabad from you?
Yeah, Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ali.
Thanks.